Welcome back. Final round.
Final round. Affinity v Abzan, and we're already underway. My goodness.
I like it. I like this efficiency.
We've got Thopters. We've got Memnites. We've got Ravager.
Man, Tople had the kind of hand you just empty out. This makes it very...
Looks like he's got a... I can't tell what that land is.
It might be like a Seagate record. There's a lot of cards in this deck where you like have this like flex spot and you can play like a lot of goofiness.
Oh, I play goofiness.
I've seen people play...
He's also got the burn spell, whatever that is. I can't remember the name
Galvanic Blast.
Galvanic Blast versus Abzan. Grim Flare. Gotta think that one's eating a Galvanic Blast here.
Oh, it's a Darksteel Citadel. So we have a blue card and a red card in our hand.
Well, we've got the Opal to cast it. How do you feel about...
I think you have to Galvanic Blast this guy, yeah.
Yeah, get him down and then get in for 1, 2, 3.
Yep. Okay, so Tople's going to make it 4 by sacrificing one of the Ornithopters. He has to do this very carefully. The deck is...
It wasn't a Blink Moth. It was a Darksteel Citadel.
The deck is very susceptible to push and path. If they get your Ravager first. So Ravager is probably the best card to have out against this Abzan deck.
It's a very important card to have out.
But it doesn't guarantee you any kind of action.
And that's what we're looking at here. Not a lot of action. Like a 4 damage clock is pretty good, but the Affinity deck can do much better. And with these, being able to cycle out this Thoughtcast here is going to generate a lot of card value and hopefully give them a little bit of explosiveness. Alright, 3 mana. I know he's got a Lily in hand. Lily discard would actually be really good here, and typically it's not something that's very good against this Affinity deck.
So it's really good because it buys you an entire turn cycle.
Right. So the temptation might be to go all in, but he's representing path mana.
Yeah, so I think you just want to move it on to the Memnite.
Well, so if you put it on the Ornithopter, it gives you 2 quote-unquote threats to deal with.
Okay, so there's the target. There's the untap.
Would probably cast the Thoughtcast first. If that is a Thoughtcast, who knows? It's a blue card, I assume.
So if it was... I could see Tople being patient enough to not play his Master of Ethereum into the obvious path.
Sure.
So he could have just played really tight there. Here's the souls. So here's where, if this is Etch Champion, or I'm sorry, Master of Ethereum, it's going to be really, really good.
Oh,
because now this souls can't really effectively block all the smaller guys that are available.
I know. I think you just drew a Steel Overseer.
Oh, that'd be a good one too. I want to know what this blue card is. It is a blue card, right?
It's looking like a blue card to me.
All right. Steel Overseer is probably going to get pushed, it looks like. Yep. Yeah, Brent's being very patient with his removal. He's putting it in all the right places.
Well, he's got a ton of it, so you can afford to be both patient and not patient.
And here we go.
What is this blue card? Not interested in paying life for this. I guess
The
why would
world
you?
may never know. So now the the Blink Moth Nexus can be animated and then pump itself.
Right.
As presented here. So that keeps these souls back. He could also theoretically get all his guys together to block the Grim Flare, which probably isn't the best play because he just blows you out to any removal spell.
Mm-hmm.
But it's another potential play. Keeping the souls back is big. You want to buy yourself some time.
Still can't see what it is. It's not a blue card, though.
Oh, it's not?
Apparently it was a Springleaf Drum.
Okay, just a random Springleaf Drum that he was using as a to represent the trick. All right. What kind of action we got here? Here's the big deal. This is the card that you want to see 100% of the time when you're playing this matchup. This is an Etch Champion. So this card's going to have protection from everybody and all the spells. So it can soak up 2 of the damage. It can gather together with some of these other creatures to block the Grim Flare.
I don't think that's really where you want to be right here.
No, I agree. It's not ideal, but like, you know, something's got to give.
All right, so we've turned on the Shambling Vent.
Oh, so now this is a very safe block, actually. I would try and kill the Grim Flare here. Oh, we're choosing the Shambling Vent. Okay.
Well, so you want to protect yourself against this Liliana going down.
You've got the Blink Moth in your... So if the Liliana goes down, you animate the Blink Moth, sacrifice it, and then you use the champion to attack Liliana to death.
Sure.
You're hit by quite a bit at that point. Okay, so I think this champion's going to kill Liliana regardless here. Ooh! Woo-wee!
Yeah, it's
he has to...
Oh, sending it to Brent.
Yeah, so the
I would move that.
The cranial plating changes the calculus here.
I would move that to the...
Well, he underpaid. We owe 1 more. There you go.
There we go.
So he still could have moved it, but the Liliana is going to make him probably sacrifice his Vault Scourge anyway.
Sure.
And Abrupt. Oh, is that a Maelstrom Pulse? So Brent has the Maelstrom Pulse. The cranial plating. Yeah, that has to be the play. Yep, so Jonathan could top deck an additional cranial plating, would be about the only out here. Galvanic Blast as well.
Galvanic Blast as well, yeah.
So he's on 6 outs.
Let's see what he's got.
Thoughtcast also rebuys. Yep. So he's going to get another draw step at this, barring some removal. If Brett can remove the Ornithopter, then he's going to win the game on site. If he cannot, Jonathan can block enough to get another draw step to try and win the game. And this is sometimes... Yep.
And that'll do it. Path on the Ornithopter.
Yeah, sometimes that's how the Affinity deck plays, is that, like, that's why Thoughtcast can be such a good card, is that, like, you just generate these board states where you just have your,
Sure.
you know, X number of outs in your deck, and that's how it ends up.
All right, so Affinity against Abzan. We know what Abzan's going to bring in. It's going to have some number of stony silences.
Yep.
Kitchen Finks is okay, not great, but it'll probably come in because you've got like cards you don't really need against them anyway.
Right.
Affinity against Abzan. We're going to go up on champions.
Yeah, you fill out your champion, so it's usually either 2 or 3 in the main deck, so you fill out on those.
Mm-hmm.
You can some of them choose to play Blood Moon. I personally play either Relic of Brigandus or Nile Spellbomb or Rest in Peace, something of that nature.
One of those, sure.
Also Grafdigger's Cage if you can find another card that you want to take out. I'm not so sure that there's that many cards I want to take out.
Sure.
So that's the story there.
That is the story there. We'll see how they end up sideboarding. Thoughtseize and taking out all the signal pests says the Act Cracker. And one of the few things he can say that isn't put the real deal on.
I would. There's no way in the world I would ever take out all the signal pests.
I would take out Memnites first.
Yes, but Signal Pest is one of those cards that generates the explosive, very hard to beat turn 2 or 3 win hands.
Oh, Aggcracker wants an Aether Grids too. Those are really good against Tarmogoyfs.
So
that's a joke, Aggcracker.
Yeah, gear per Aether Grid is only, I guess it's fine against Lingering Souls.
Yeah, and it's decent against Liliana as well.
So you could make a case for that much more than taking out the Signal Pest. You could even, if you're playing Thoughtcasts, you can replace Thoughtcasts with Aether Grids. I like that. You don't want a ton of them though. I mean, if you have 2 in your sideboard, I guess you can bring them both in, but it's not like it's not a haymaker. It's more like a responsive type card.
Sure.
If you're trying to be responsive, you could choose to bring in your enchantment removal.
Aggcracker says Signal Pest gets bodied by Lingering Souls, which isn't wrong. But Signal Pest is really good in the early game. Like before you're worrying about Lingering Souls, like the turn 2 attack is when Signal Pest is at its best.
Yeah.
So if Jonathan's hand was a Signal Pest instead of like one of those Ornithopters or even the Ravager, I think his hand is much more aggressive.
Sure. Alright, so here we're going to watch game 2. Alright, so Jonathan's on the play. He's going to keep his 7. Alright, so
I like this hand.
yeah, this is a fine hand. I mean, a push, or if he Path to Exiles him here, he's going to be in even better shape because I see 2 cranial platings.
Yeah, cranial plating makes his hand much better. I think you just do a Ravager. I would rather play the Ravager here because it makes an immediate impact, but...
Yep, 19 all. Yeah, so the Ravager... The Ravager protects you against the removal, and
right.
I personally prefer to like hide the cranial plating in my hand, and so that I can play it and equip it all in one turn cycle.
Oh sure. But he doesn't have, like, the second land. So, I mean, I understand getting it out there.
But, I love the cover your entire card with my Abrupt Decay. That's my favorite.
It's a draw there. I can't see what that card is.
This is a Nature's Claim. This is his enchantment removal that he brought in. Alright. Brett's looking at his Maelstrom Pulse here with much chagrin. So personally, if I was playing the Abzan deck, what I would have done there is let Jonathan get to the point where he equips the Cranial Plating and then Abrupt Decay whatever creature it's on during combat.
Oh, sure.
This allows you to keep the board clear, so like even a 1-power creature is still a creature, but like a board with just Cranial Platings on it isn't very good.
Right.
And so I think your removal can keep up enough that that you're alright in here. Alright. Here comes an Arcbound Ravager. This is what I really want to see, is Arcbound Ravager before the attack. Use the Arcbound Ravager to equip and then attack in. Enforce the action. Okay, it's not where I want to be. Alright. So maybe he's got he's keeping the mana open for to have access to these colored sources. Okay, here's the I see where we're at here. Brett's considering this path to exile. That's perfect. This makes Jonathan's next turn just very, very good. Looks like he's brought in Whip Flare. Whip Flare was his answer instead of the Gear per Aether Grid.
Whip Flare. Not super stoked on that, but...
Oh, I love it.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. And this is why, because if he draws a Whip Flare here, he gets to kill this Grim Flare.
Oh, sure.
So it's got a lot of options.
Well, it looks like we have the Galvanic Blast anyway.
Yeah, he's gonna. I mean, that's the move, but.
Show me the move.
Let's see.
So I like firing up a creature here and equipping this. Well, I guess you can do that after he kills the Ravager.
Yeah, so if he plays Ravager here, and he goes to kill the Ravager, you can put the counters onto the Inkmoth Nexus, and you can creep your way towards.
It's not even creeping at this point.
Well, no, you can like set up these board states where he has to be very concerned with. Oh no!
So I would have definitely let him.
What is you doing with tapping that mountain?
Oh.
I would drop that meme right into the middle of this game right now. Oh baby, what is you doing?
Have you seen the source for that?
Isn't it from Dexter?
No.
What's the source from? I thought that guy was on Dexter. I know that.
No, it's not.
I know that.
That's
Surprise MFer is from Dexter for sure.
Different African American male meme. There are multiple.
Oh, stop. I'll have to get on knowyourmeme.com when I get home tonight.
I'm just saying you're butchering the way it's said. You're just butchering it. You're killing it.
Well, I'm pretty much the whitest guy you know, so...
It has nothing to do about race or color.
Or creed.
Everything to do with creed. And now we have a Goyf. Yeah, this is just a terrible mistake. You don't want this to trigger because now it's going to be a 4. Just way out of control.
So, like, Galvanic Blast kills it either way, but, like, you still didn't want him to get the trigger. Did he put 0 cards into his bin?
Yeah. So now, like...
I will never understand that move in a million years.
Oh, it's 100% wrong. 100% of the time.
Like, there's always one you don't want?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, this one I like. So now he can block the Tarmogoyf and create red mana with the Springleaf Drum, killing the Grimflare.
Brent with multiple damnations in hand.
My one small critique
plays
would be
multiple
to
damnations.
My one small critique would be to move the Edge Champion off the cranial plating.
Yes, because it is not equipped currently.
Correct. But I'm assuming all players are... There we go. So that makes it clear.
Oh, wow. Oh, no. We can kill that land. We can kill that land. That's huge.
Oh, jeez.
What are we
Wait a minute.
doing?
Why is the Grimflare dead? Did he not get Delirium?
Yeah, no, he didn't get Delirium because he didn't move anything in the yard.
Okay,
so now we're galvanizing. It's not equipped. So let's...
Hang on. Timeout.
Let him know that it's not equipped. Whoo! Playing him fast and loose.
I tend to forgive those things like once.
Why are we tapping this mountain so aggressively?
I don't know.
All right, so Brent down to 6.
So Brent's at 6. So I would attack here. See if you can earn the... Oh, he doesn't have Damnation online anymore.
Well, he might have a land in hand.
So these Damnations are very good against the Affinity deck, as there's like very little reason to leave creatures in your hand with this deck. Like you can't do that. You have to apply all the pressure all the time. So I'm proud of him. I like the sideboard choice, but he So pathing the Arcbound. So this is interesting. Jonathan has no reason to let the path resolve because he's out of basics in his deck. So he's going to sacrifice it to modular onto the... Okay, so he's going to sacrifice it to modular onto the Memnite, which is interesting. I would think he would have put it on the Inkmoth Nexus.
I would agree.
So while he like has the game on board next turn, you want to generate as many openings into different lines as you can with this deck.
Right.
And the poison line is just a different... Is really one of the 3 main lines. There's the cranial plating line, the Arcbound Ravager onto like one of the unblocked creature lines.
Sure.
And then there's the poison line, which, plays into both those lines, but sometimes you can, like, incrementally deal poison damage, 1 at a time, 2 at a time.
Right.
Yeah, so Brent volunteers the I had 2 damnations information.
So if you're going to lean on damnation, then you don't attack with that land. Like, you've got a Lily that you can commit to the board. Just do that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
No biggie. At Cracker, if you want these kids off camera, come in here and play and we'll put you on camera instead.
Absolutely, man. That guy talks a lot and does not walk a lot. I need a guy that steps up to the plate, not just runs the mouth. Anybody can run the mouth.
So you don't know how much he walks. He could walk a fair amount.
No, I don't see him slanging cards anywhere.
Right, but he could be walking.
Well, I'm saying walks the walk that he talks about. You know what I mean.
I don't. You could be saying anything and meaning anything. I don't know.
Words have no meaning. They're all subjective.
They are. They're all subjective. Fly on in, wherever you are, or drive.
Oh, is he out of town?
I have no idea. Matthew Manier spelled Cincinnati wrong, though.
Oh, good for him,
so
man.
That's a thing.
He's it's one of our
a bright young lad.
He's a bright young. That's the hope of America.
Hope of America.
Matt, you're America's hope.
So Adcracker has specified that he walks a mile plus at 4:30 a.m. every day. Hashtag walk.
I do 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and run 10 kilometers every day. I also refuse to use heat or air conditioning in my house.
Okay, yeah, that builds mental strength. You are not losing your hair yet.
Not yet, no. Oh, man, my hair is glorious.
So let's see this turn 1 from John.
Here we go. Okay. And there's a signal pest. And here's oh man, if you had one more drop there to follow that up, it would have been
but he does. Oh my goodness.
Okay, so here's why the signal pest is so good. So even if he didn't have the removal there, the signal plus the Memnite is very good because it gets to attack through this Stony Silence. Like, all the cards are still active doing what they're doing.
Right. So he's got 2 mana here and not able to cast whatever's in his hand. Oh, it's just a land. Okay.
But next turn, he's going to get to turn on both these main lands and attack for a whole bunch.
Oh, yeah. Grimflayer, just a 2/2.
Which he would have been able to do with Stony Silence. Oh, boy.
Play it. Play it and equip it.
Just play it, equip it. I guess he's trying to find the best way to do this.
Throw it on the Ornithopter.
Let's see.
That's how we drew it up, boys.
1 and 4 and 3. So he theoretically could put it on the Inkmoth Nexus. Dealing 7, 8.
Well, that's less than.
Which is less than lethal. Oh, 9. It would have been 9 with this. So it would have been forcing Brent to have an answer for it next turn.
Right.
And then if he does have an answer for it, you get to play the other game. You know what I mean? You just move on to dealing him damage.
Right. Yeah, putting this on the Ornithopter is okay, but he has the mana up to move it at instant speed right now. So even if he killed the Signal Pest, he can move to the Ornithopter in response.
Right. And so next turn, he can put it on. He can activate the Inkmoth Nexus and just threaten 10 if Brent doesn't do anything about the Inkmoth Nexus.
Right.
So Brent has to answer a lot of things here.
Yeah, we got a lot of lines we got to answer, and 1 turn to do it.
We got a follower. McKinley
McKinley Prime.
All right. So we have a collective brutality escalating. All right.
So we're killing the signal pest.
The signal pest. This actually turns off the. All right.
All right. So Brent going up to 12. Doing this before combat is a little bit weird. Does it give him? It doesn't give him delirium.
Does not. Here's a scavenging ooze. Okay, so this opens up the Inkmoth Nexus. Just kills Brett next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I lied to you.
You've lied to me. Yeah, I like just killing this Grimflayer here, right? And then you can just sack like this Springleaf Drum. I want to move the...
I would have sacked the Ornithopter.
Oh, you don't want to go all in on one creature, do you? I guess it's not really all in.
No, you want to end the game next turn. I think you can deal 12 damage.
Okay, that's exciting.
Okay. All right, there we go. So
now you get a free attack with this Ravager. It's not a free attack, obviously, but you get to swing in here. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Here's a Vault Scourge.
Vault Scourge is important just to get the artifact count up. Might as well get this guy in here. So if we activate this, that's... Oh wow, we're not even interested. That's weird. Nine. So we could have taken him down to 1, I guess.
Yeah.
By activating the Blink Moth and attacking, and then activating the Ink Moth.
Right. Yeah, that doesn't kill him.
Damnation doesn't stop this.
No, Damnation's not an out here.
Scavengers can eat a couple things to kind of get back into this, but
Lingering Souls helps you out if he had that. Lingering Souls would actually go a long way.
So he's effectively at 6 because he can eat a guy. But then he's taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
yeah,
6,
he's taking
7.
6 in the air.
Easy. So this should do it.
Yeah. Wondering if Brent could have played it differently there. Yeah, he just has to attack here. It makes it the game.
I don't know what Swing with Ornithopter here does, but here we are.
This is the situation we find ourselves in.
This is the situation we find ourselves in.
You just add it up. It is more than your life total.
And you have tapped out, so
none of it is on the ground. So it's one of those things where like you have to. So Jonathan hit a lot of lines there. I don't think you bluffing a spell. Follow Rice Gang Gang is now following.
Welcome, Follow Rice Gang Gang.
Jonathan had a lot of lines, so I don't think there's a lot of value in playing in like representing a spell you don't have.
Right. Especially at that point.
Right, but that can happen sometimes against Affinity, give you a little edge. But that's our show tonight.
That is our show tonight.
Thought we had a nice diverse one for you.
Yeah, lots of different decks represented tonight. We'll be back. We won't be back, but the stream will be back tomorrow.
For Standard.
For some Standard. And then Thursday we'll be back on, and Friday we'll be back on the Modern train.
Yep. So get your standard fix. Last little bit of the standard format. It's nice and healthy and diverse.
Yeah.
So hopefully you'll see another broad show tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you like it, go ahead and give me a subscribe.
Yeah, feel free to go visit the Patreon as well if you prefer that.
Or just follow. Every little bit helps. And I love shouting out followers. So here we are.
This is the situation we find ourselves in.
This is the situation we find ourselves in. For Taylor Gunn, I am the handsome John Douglas. I bid you all good night and adieu.